welcome to R&R on Sports. I'm Howard Robertson.
And I am the baddest one, Larry Robinson.
In your Christmas outfit. Amazing. Boy, don't you look cute?
I am cute.
Don't you look got stuff, your socks matching your tie and your little sweater. That's okay, nice. Nelly give you that?
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
actually.
That's beautiful.
Because I get dressed.
My granddad,
but it's kind of like Garanimal. It's a Garanimal. It's a Garanimal set. So I matched the giraffe with the giraffe with the giraffe instead of the giraffe with the orangutan.
Bev will whip my ass if I put a giraffe with a tiger.
Oh, well, we gotta coordinate. We gotta coordinate, brother. We got to coordinate.
I make her look bad.
Oh, okay. Well, so we got a guest, man. You acting up in front of people, man. Listen,
great
don't be
guest.
acting like that when we got people visiting.
BK, not Burger King or British Night. You remember British Night?
Man, boy, he from the East Coast.
I got a pair of British Nights in the closet. I ain't gonna never wear them, but they said BK on the side. That's
British
me.
Nights, I'm talking about Brevin Night.
Brevin Night up in the house.
Man, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad y'all had me back. I thought maybe I didn't do well enough the last time. It's been so long.
Had nobody called you?
Nobody. Saying I phone number still the same.
We had to change some people out, man. We had to get rid of some people.
We had some people that's gone on the glory.
Oh, Lord. They got fired and they died.
Well, once you get fired, you kind of like that.
Hey, man. Hey, welcome back, brother.
Yeah, man.
Good to be back.
Everything good?
Okay.
Life is great.
But hold up, man. He's with the number one. He the announcer for the number one team.
Yeah.
He the sports guy, the voice of.
I love to watch him, too. I love to watch him because they done put him right there in the middle.
So it's like a reverse Oreo?
Yeah, and he the only brother that looked like us up in there. So they had to put him in the middle to balance off.
Balance it off, huh?
God's other children on either end.
Well, this is something that I am very aware of when we get into that sector.
Right.
This has to be balanced. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's you don't want to have it can't be off, right? And then the other thing I just say is you also like to have somewhere near the most handsome one in the. Don't want him more so in the middle.
At least had to keep attention to it, right?
Yeah, don't worry. Don't look into the sides too much. We just.
But y'all, I'm gonna tell you, the chemistry looks and sounds and feels good between y'all. So how'd you get to that?
Well, that's 13 years of working together, number one.
13 years?
It's my 13th season, so 13 years of myself, Pete Pranica, and Rob Fisher working together. And then on our pre- and post-game, Chris Vernon, I think maybe like the last 5 years, five years or so, I think he's been there. And so I think longevity is a big part of it. Right. But the other thing is like, y'all, the bickering, the back and forth, the family stuff, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like there's no one is safe. Yeah. You're not safe. I say something crazy on TV. Oh, it's not. Oh, there's in my ears like, oh, we heard that. You don't think we didn't hear that. And it's and then the other thing is we spend so much time together.
Right.
Okay. Because now when we travel, we all travel together. We travel just like the team. We're on the team plane. We go to the same hotel. Okay. But then every night, it's either 3 or 4 of us that go to dinner together. Okay. Then maybe get a drink afterwards. And there's some people that do a second stop. And there's others that go home. And so I think just that camaraderie, that being around one another has led to it being such a tight unit.
Now, people don't normally think of the number of nights that you guys are on the road. Give me a number.
I'm probably with them more nights than my wife.
Wow, really?
At the end of the day, I probably spend more because there's 7 months. There's about 7 months of us being together on the road, nights on the road. When we're here, the games that we do here at home. And so I would say, but she probably is like, that's fine with her. The amount of time that you spend with me is just enough.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. So let me ask you this. What's the difference of outside of the training, the amount of travel that you had when you were playing? Is it a lot easier now? Is it still? It's
easier now. Now is because number one, the planes are nicer. That's the number one thing. The food is better.
Okay.
The planes are bigger. Yeah. With more room, so that in terms of how we travel is better. Still stay in really nice hotels. The biggest difference is I travel with my golf clubs now. Oh. So when we go to nice weather.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I'm a golfer. During the day, I've been blessed, and I thank the Lord that my job is only a night job. During the day,
you go play. Oh man,
I play golf. So if the weather is nice, I go golf. If the weather's not nice, then it's just a day of leisure.
Let's see. Going through, I mean, you can play in Phoenix. You can play
San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, LA, Sacramento, Golden State.
Okay.
Miami.
Okay. Oh yes.
Orlando.
Oh, yes.
Right.
So
you get plenty of golf.
I get my golf, and depending on the time of the year, we've even played in Indiana because we've gotten it early. Right. We played them early in the year, or we played them late.
Right.
As long as it's 50 degrees, not too windy,
you're getting out there.
I'm playing.
Yeah. Wow. So do you the fact that you're traveling with the team? Do you spend a lot of time with the players too?
No. Why I say that's because they're players, and then these kids could be my kids.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I have kids older than half of our team.
That's like being at the club with your kid.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying?
That ain't no look. That ain't no good look.
And so I enjoy when we had the moments to talk to them. Like I enjoy talking to them.
Right.
But that's their lives. You know what I'm saying? That's the stage that they're in. I'm in a different stage of my life.
What's different? What's different about them versus when you were traveling?
Shucks! When I was traveling, we want to go out.
Okay.
And I haven't been to a strip club in so long I can't remember. That part is totally gone.
No, I'm saying is what's different about the way they're experiencing the NBA versus you.
Their experience is here's them say,
we didn't want this to go too far. You started out with strip clubs. I'm like, hold up, time out. We all married.
Wait a minute. Speaking of strip club,
22 years.
Speaking of the strip club, have y'all seen the way some of these young girls dance now?
Boy, what you said.
Speaking of the strip, I had not seen some of these moves.
I have to take holy water to the game.
I mean,
I be sprinkling on them.
My wife.
Jesus.
My wife was at a wedding reception and stayed too long. Right? She stayed too long where all of the other old folks left. And once they looked around and saw all of the other old folks had left, man, they put on that trap. Trap music. And boy,
were they dropping it? Were they dropping it like it was hot?
Woo! Last time I saw them moves, I had to pay for it.
Now it's just everyday dance.
Hey, it's every day.
It's every day. But I think the biggest difference is they got way more money than we had.
Yes,
that is true.
So the
game has changed.
The game has changed, and I think the people that played before me were like, "Man, I wish I was born in your time." And now I'm sitting there and be like, damn, I wish I was born in their time. My time was good, ridiculous. And I think so that means that your access is different. And then the world of social media is a whole different effect on how they live and what they do. We didn't. Social media was
that.
Well, speaking of that, what is your as a former scholarship athlete and then a professional athlete, what's your position on NIL currently, as it is currently structured?
I think I have no issue with the paying of players, but I think that there has to be at some point in time some level of regulation to it. Just because it just becomes the Wild Wild West, and now it is. And what I fear what happens is when people start giving people money, there's expectations when I give you this money.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't reach this expectation, how much of the weight is now going to be on this kid that's either a teenager or a young 20s person? The thought that I have now is when those people, because I say when you start giving people money, now you're like a grown up. Right. I'm giving you this money. I expect for you to play well. I want to get something out of this.
Right.
And now you ain't playing well. Absolutely. Now the bashing becomes more from fans.
Absolutely.
Now do we take this away from you because you didn't do well? And then what's that effect have on that kid moving forward? Can he become a pro? Does what? So I think there's
let me throw one more thing in. How does that play inside the locker room? Because you got one kid who's got to deal with Lamborghini or Rolls Royce or some Mercedes for even. Then you got this other kid that's literally,
the local hardware store,
right?
or just the money out of pocket that the school said we'll give you. Absolutely. And I think what we've done is you've made college basketball be professional basketball. It's what you have, what we live with as pros. You sitting in the locker room, you know how much he makes. I know how much you make, and I'm like, well, shoot, but I'm playing better than you. I should be making more than you.
Right.
Same thing now goes in college. Or you're playing because you make more. And you have allowed there to be another level of team dissension.
Absolutely.
Right.
Something else that can now be a roadblock for your team to be good. Like I said, I'm happy that guys get paid. Make as much money as you want to make, but just understand that there are a lot of other things that come with the money.
Right.
And there are going to be a lot of scenarios that these kids have to live with.
And that's
with that money.
And that's what I want us to talk about when we come back. You're checking out R&R on Sports on the Kazukian Network. Back after this. Stay with me. Back for more R&R on Sports on the Kazukian Network with the great man. You have evolved into a tremendous sports analyst. May I say,
man, I appreciate it.
May I say, you have.
I tell people, if you don't reinvent yourself, they'll forget about you.
That's it. That's it.
Well,
that's it.
So the NIL because we just got in trouble for not.
We on a time. We on an agenda.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, somebody will get
y'all keep looking at that paper, but they said y'all ain't reading the paper.
He rather sensitive.
Yeah, I see. You got all up in his little panties in a bunch and everything.
So here's what I think about and worry about. I worry about one, all of the money that that these kids have before them at such a young age, because good Lord doesn't give you everything all at once.
Yes.
He does not give you youth, energy, talent, and sense.
Man, y'all on that bull. See, that's some old people stuff.
It is.
Yeah, listen.
It is.
I'm telling you, let me figure it out with $1 million in my pocket. I figure this stuff out.
Now you can say that, but if you had that kind of money at your age, man,
I'd have
you'd have been the biggest fool. No, you wouldn't have. You'd have been the biggest fool in the world. I'm still the biggest fool in the world.
You'd have been broke just like me.
Give me $1 million right now. I'd be a 55-year-old fool.
You started talking about the responsibility. Yes, lots of responsibility. Do you think these young folk are fragile? Right. These young folk are as my daughter calls them, tender.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they are. And do you think they can handle that kind of pressure?
I think you have. I think you have. Right. I think you have certain individuals that can do it, and then you're gonna have certain ones that will falter with it. And I think that's a reality, but. To be able, the problem becomes is the responsibility of how many people you're going to take care of at a young age and trying to decipher how to do it. That's where it comes in, because I say I went my first contract. I tell you, I spent every dime of it. At the end of the 3 years, there was no more of that money left. Now, the only good thing was I knew I had another contract coming.
Right.
The problem is how many of these kids you get paid. You think that the guys that are getting the deals are the people that you would think are going to be pros,
right? Because
they're that good. But guess what? That might not happen,
right?
So then now, what he was getting paid in college is nowhere near what he's going to get paid when he get a real job.
Whoa!
Right. How do you deal with that?
Now,
there's a lot of avenues that we go with this. And like you can, if you just want to just stay pointless, keep it in this box, just right in this one lane. That's cool. Everybody's get paid. NCAA's making money. Now kids get money. All right, cool. What do you think is? But now it's just all it did was bring new problems. We just stem off of that money.
More money, more problems.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Right. So listen, I want to go back to the NBA in the sense that you got these players that are highly skilled, that I say are more skilled today than ever before.
Right.
Is the scoring surge that we're seeing, I mean, you're seeing Luka 50, 60 points. You're seeing, Kevin Durant, all of these guys are just, I mean, I think it's something, triple doubles with 40 points and carrying on. Is that a function of skill or is it a function of the changing of the rules of the NBA?
Or just carte blanche?
It's a function of the changing of the rules.
Really?
I mean, the rules changes were put into place for this. It's because they feel that if you have more scoring, people are interested to watch the game. Which to me, I
love the long ball.
Yeah, but to me is that the game is good if the players are good and the teams are good. That's when the game is good.
Right.
Not if you scoring 100, because we saw really good basketball games. We score 110 points.
Right.
105 points.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you got to score 120 for it to be a good basketball game. You just got to have good players that know how to play the game, good teams that are coached very well, and then they go out and compete hard against each other. That's what makes a good basketball game. But we have put rules in place because the game has become, it's just whatever. If fans think that if you score more, then that's a fun game. Okay, well, let's score more. We want fans to come to the game. But to me, what makes the game good players, good coaching, good teams. And then you go out and compete, and then you'll have good basketball. I'm not going to dumb down the game of basketball to say just score a lot of points and shoot threes. Right. Now that makes the game good. There's a lot more to the game.
Perpetual green light?
Yeah, I mean, the green light, certain players have a green light.
Man, some of these players
have a green light. Yeah, but then there's
flashing.
But I always tell people that we only glorify the good side of this game. Yeah. There's a lot of people that you better take the shots that you're going to take. Hopefully you're going to make it because your minutes are short. Right. There's guys that jump around from team to team, in the NBA, out of the NBA, overseas, no job, then maybe back in. So it's a big world to this game than just those 30 or 40 or 50 guys we see, because it's 450 in the league.
Right. Now, Luka Doncic recently, or it wasn't recently, but said it's easier to score in the NBA than in European basketball.
Yes.
Is that a true statement?
It's accurate.
Really?
Because the rules are different. The rules in European basketball, number one, you can still be physical, but you can play a true zone in European basketball. In the NBA, you can't play zone. Our zones are, you still got to get out of the lane. You can't just stand in the lane. For them, you can stand in the lane. And so now defensively it makes it a lot harder for you to score with big guys along the back line. And so, I would say to what he said is right. Why? Because we believe that for our game to be good, it has to be a lot of points. So no, I don't think that European basketball sees it the same way.
Is it true that you feel that European ball players come in better prepared than American
Yes,
players?
because their basketball system is different. Like, see, their basketball is built around club teams.
Okay.
Like, so you have...
What does that mean?
So club teams are, you have guys that are 12, 13, 14 years. They don't go to school anymore. They're playing basketball, and they're playing professional basketball, and they have different levels of their basketball. Yeah. And so they may be doing schooling as a side thing. And we started to do that somewhat here with these academies and doing it that in some way. Right. It's still not, because we don't have, it's not all legislated within certain bodies. This is the plan that they have been on for so long. And so I just think that because of that, because they play with grown people, because they play more system type basketball, that you have guys that skill wise can do it within the frame of the work of a team. We still, a lot of times, we don't emphasize team as much here as someone else may do somewhere else, where we still the individual and then it's the team. Right. It's just the reality of what our basketball.
One more quick one though. That whole thing we mentioned European ball. But The one thing that no one's paying attention to is the influx of African players, and they're putting these academies in Africa. So now you got the OD Watanabe, you got OG.
Anunoby. You'll get Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, Pascal.
Look at Embiid and what he
right.
done. And so now, really, what we start to say is it's not so much European. We should use international.
Right. Okay.
The international game is a different game than our game. Mm-hmm. The entire international game is different than our game.
But the 7-footers in Africa, there's many, many more per capita 7-footers, and those that are taller. Do you see that is a reason why the NBA?
Of course, and it's also a way for you to touch the continent of Africa. There's the only way that we were able to touch all of the European countries was you had players come from those places. I say, how do you globalize a game? The only way you globalize a game is if you have people that play in your league that is from those areas.
That's right.
So now those people want to watch. And so now they finally got to the point where, we'll tap into Africa. And so now you'll start to see more players from that continent being a part of the league. Because now it's like, there are players there that can help us be good. We'll go down there and try to figure out how can we make that work. And so it's later than what we have done with the European countries.
That's surprising though, because
they started that with China, didn't they?
But many times you think about it, the NBA has wanted to lighten up a little bit because of the people in the lower bowl. So it's interesting that now you're starting to bring in even more African-oriented players or people of African descent when it's always been an issue that the NBA was a little too dark.
Well, the reality is it's still going to be that way. I mean, you can have them whether they're going to be African Americans or they're going to be true Africans. We're going to be a part of the game,
right?
And it will continue to be whatever level that they are in the game. And so I think as long as you learn how to play the game the right way, and then now take your athletic talent, your God-given skill,
right,
and now you bring it to this NBA and you continue to reach back and bring more people. I'm happy that the game is open to everywhere internationally, that everybody has an opportunity to play. But I also want for our American-born players to understand and see where the game is and where it's going. Because sometimes we'll sit around and try to fight what's going on. Well, we're going to do it this way. I'm like, all right, what do you mean? You can fight as much as you want, but you better kind of keep an eye on where this game is going, what the language, how they're talking it, so that you can continue to be a part of it.
Absolutely. In the last minute that we have, and what I think is the best question, whoever put these daggum questions together, this one is the best one, I think. As a player who came up playing position basketball, what's your thought on positionless basketball?
I don't buy into the positionless basketball. You do that, and then now you have what are people's roles? And I think that's kind of what the positions define were your roles on a team. Now you can switch up the numbers however you want to do it, or not talk about numbers at all. But as long as you define what everyone's expectations are,
right,
then you move forward. But I still think you need, at the end of the day, whenever we get into the playoffs, I'm going to tell you what we always hear, that they need a point guard. Mm-hmm. But you won't pay a point guard throughout. You won't go into the offseason and say, I'm going to pay a point guard. Other than the top-notch guys.
Right.
But then everyone else that we just need somebody to make a solid play.
Right.
We don't want to pay the solid play guys. Right. You want to pay the flashy guys, which is fine. Again, when I say all these things, I only say what it is. It's just what it is.
Right.
Figure out how to deal with what it is. And so positionless basketball to me is I never talk. I don't get into that because now you say that we shouldn't have centers. Well, I like centers. My team could be good. I like a back to the basket guy. Whatever is your preference, I think is where we have gotten to it. But for me, I like to define roles on the team.
Absolutely.
Now, go ahead.
Go ahead. You got about 6 seconds.
5.
Go for it. 3, 2, 1.
But listen, we're the number one team. Memphis Grizzlies, the number one team in the West, number one team in the league. Where do you see Where do you see the Grizzlies realistically at the end of the season?
I'll tell everybody, I see them as a top 3 team in the Western Conference. Okay. Down the stretch, I think that they have, of course, to start them with Ja Morant, right? Jaren Jackson Jr. being able to play in fourth quarter scoring now is huge. Desmond Bain getting his rhythm back with Dylan on the defensive side, giving and Steven Adams manning the boards. Our bench has been fantastic, which I think from top to bottom we're deep.
Yep,
we have guys that can make plays. And we have the camaraderie necessary to deal with adversity that you're going to have to go through to be good.
Give me a prediction. Now they gonna make it? They gonna make it to the finals?
They'll make it to I'll say we can make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
These are stages. You got to do these things in stages. We only got past the first round last year.
Right.
The injuries not derailed us, though we had a great chance against Golden State.
Right.
This year, stay healthy, then I think, especially stay in that top 4. If he can stay in the top 2 again and have home court advantage straight to the Western Conference Finals, then I don't see why that wouldn't be something that's realistic.
I'm smiling. You know what I love to hear him do? I love to hear him catch himself because he's got a mic in front of him, and sometimes it's some stuff he wants to say. And it's about to come out.
We're gonna have to get him.
And he gets just on the edge.
Almost there. No, you know what? Let me tell you, when I go there, I got a little button that's a talkback button with my producer.
Okay.
So I get out all of what I really want to say. Okay. The real Brevin. And then I let off the button, and then the TV Brevin comes back on.
Oh, whoa.
So I go from,
See?
God, I can't believe this. Yeah, the Grizzlies, they just need to move the ball a little bit better.
Funny.
Grab a rebound.
That's funny. See?
Hey, man. Hey,
only on
the tree. We got outtakes. We got outtakes.
Only on our,
really?
Do you find to get that kind of intelligence and insight?
Hey, man.
Brevin Knight, thank you, brother.
Man, always a pleasure, man.
You,
always a pleasure.
Look like you can still hoop, man.
That's all a look. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, like, they see my suit, like, oh, you look good. I say, yeah, with this suit on.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back for more.
No, we won't. We out. We out, bro. We out of here.
Well, say that or say bye, damn it.
Listen, bye, damn it. Listen, this is R&R on Sports. Listen, on the Kazuki Network. Till next time.
We out.
Peace.
I gotta go get my dog.